You know that feeling, right? That flash of anger that's so hot and so fast, it just completely takes over. 1 second, you're totally fine, and the next, you're seeing red, and all rational thought has just left the building. It's a powerful, and let's be honest, kind of scary experience. Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what's happening inside your brain and give you a real science-backed hack to get back in the driver's seat in seconds. So, we've all heard the advice, right? When you get mad, just take a deep breath and count to 10. But if you've ever actually tried that when you're genuinely furious, you know it's pretty much useless. It just doesn't work. Well, it turns out there's a very specific neurological reason for that. And once you get it, you'll see why we need a totally different approach.
Okay, let's get into the wiring of this thing. To really get a handle on anger, you gotta understand what's going on upstairs. See, the problem isn't a lack of willpower, it's a primal, incredibly fast brain process called the amygdala hijack.
So, what is an amygdala hijack? Well, it's basically when your emotional brain sounds an alarm that's so loud and so fast, it completely shuts down your rational brain. It's an old-school survival mechanism, and it's great if you're, running from a saber-toothed tiger, but not so great when the threat is a frustrating email from your boss. So you've basically got these two parts of your brain in a bit of a conflict. You've got your prefrontal cortex, that's your thinking brain. It's slow, it's logical, it's deliberate. And then you have the amygdala, your emotional brain, and its job is to detect threats. The key difference? The amygdala is unbelievably fast and reactive. And that, right there, is the entire problem. It all comes down to speed.
And check out this timeline. It is wild. The moment a trigger happens, within just 200 milliseconds, that's less than a quarter of a second, your amygdala is already firing. It's already flooding your body with stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. Your thinking brain? It doesn't even start to wake up for more than twice that long. By the time it's online, the emotional tidal wave is already in full motion. Counting to 10 is like trying to reason with a smoke alarm while the kitchen's on fire. It's just too late.
So if you can't think your way out of a hijack because your thinking brain is temporarily offline, what are you supposed to do? The answer is pretty cool, actually. You have to use your body to calm your brain. You need like a physical hardware override to get back in control. So here's what's happening under the hood. Anger fires up your sympathetic nervous system. That's your fight or flight mode. Think of it like the gas pedal in your car. Your heart starts pounding, your muscles get tense, you're ready for action. To calm down, we need to hit the brakes. And that means we have to manually activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for rest and digest. That's the system that tells your body, hey, it's okay, the threat is gone, we're safe. So how do we hit that brake pedal on demand? Well, the secret lies in this amazing piece of biological wiring called the vagus nerve. This thing is the longest nerve coming from your brain, and it wanders all the way down through your body, acting as the main highway for that calming parasympathetic system. The best way to think about it? It's your body's built-in reset button. When you stimulate this nerve, it sends a direct signal straight to your brain that says, all clear, we're safe. And this isn't just a feeling. It physically slows your heart rate, it cuts back the production of those stress hormones, and it literally slams the brakes on that fight or flight response. That physical shift is what finally gives your rational brain, your prefrontal cortex, the breathing room it needs to come back online and take charge again. Okay, so theory is great, but how do we actually do this in the real world when we're about to lose it? Let's get to the tools. Now that we know our target is the vagus nerve, we can use some really specific physical techniques, sensory anchors, to activate it the moment you feel that anger rising. First up is the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding technique. See, when you're in an anger spiral, all of your attention is trapped inside your head with that emotional storm. This method literally forces your brain to look outward. You just deliberately, out loud or in your head, name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can physically feel, 3 sounds you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This simple act yanks your attention out of the storm and back into reality. It short-circuits the anger loop. Now, technique number 2 is even faster and way more primal. It's the cold water reset. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You just find some cold water, a sink, a bottle, an ice pack, whatever, and splash it on your face or run it over your wrists. The key is to keep it up for about 30 seconds, because that shock of cold triggers a super powerful and totally involuntary reflex in your body. And here's the wild science behind it. It's called the mammalian dive reflex. It's this ancient survival reflex that all mammals, including us, have. The second cold water hits your face, it instantly tells your body to conserve oxygen by dramatically slowing down your heart,
We're talking by as much as 25%. It's one of the fastest ways known to science to activate that vagus nerve and just stop an anger response cold. Okay, so which tool do you use and when? Let's break it down. If you're at a low-level irritation, your jaw is tense, you're sighing a lot, the 5-4-3-2-1 method is perfect for just recentering yourself. When things heat up, your heart rate's climbing, your face feels hot, that's your cue to go for the cold water reset. And for that top-tier, seeing red kind of rage, the best move is to physically get out of the situation first, then hit the cold water to force that physiological reset.
Now, these techniques are amazing in a crisis, for sure. But their real power, it comes when you turn them from a one-time trick into a reliable skill. Because this isn't just about stopping outbursts, it's about actually rewiring your brain for more calm in the long run. And this is all thanks to an incredible idea called neuroplasticity. The bottom line is, your brain isn't set in stone. The pathways in your brain that lead to those angry reactions, they were built by repetition. And the best part is, you can build new pathways the exact same way. Every single time you use one of these techniques, you're literally strengthening a new, calmer road in your brain.
And this right here might be the single most important part of this whole thing. You have to practice these skills when you're calm. It sounds weird, I know, but trying to learn a new skill during a 5-alarm fire is basically impossible. By practicing 5-4-3-2-1 while you're just standing in line at the coffee shop, you build the muscle memory in your brain. You make that calm pathway so strong, so familiar, that you can find it automatically when you really, really need it.
So here's what it all comes down to. The whole goal here is to move from a reaction to a response. A reaction is that automatic, intense, amygdala-driven thing. A response, though, that's deliberate. It's controlled. It's guided by your thinking brain. These techniques don't get rid of anger. What they do is create just enough space between the trigger and your behavior for you to choose how you want to respond. And in that tiny space, that's where all your power is. And that's really the thought I want to leave you with. By understanding how your own brain is wired and using your body's built-in systems to regulate it, you can change anger from something that just happens to you into something you can manage with actual skill. So, what would change in your life if your response to anger wasn't a reaction, but was always, truly, a choice?